Spearfish post 164. So again, Travis Jewell leading things off. He's the second baseman. Aiden Meverton, the shortstop, will bat second. Cody Chapman, the center fielder, batting third. Jack Branham, the first baseman, will bat fourth. Halen Heiting, the left fielder, will bat fifth. Brock Lewis batting sixth and playing third base. Tucker Olson, the pitcher, batting seventh. Will Scharf, the right fielder, batting eighth. And Owen Berner, the catcher, will bat ninth, as they will go with the straight nine. Tucker Olson was the one guy that did not play in game number one, but he is the starting pitcher here in game number two. For Post State, it'll be Nolan Peterson to lead things off. He's the catcher once again. Sutton Sunshine, the left fielder, will bat second. Grayson Hunsley, the third baseman, will bat third. Charlie Simpson, the right fielder, batting the cleanup spot. George Stallion, the center fielder, batting fifth. J.J. Buckles, the first baseman, will bat sixth. Carter Schuffelbein, the second baseman, batting seventh. Bridger Babcock, the DH, will bat eighth. And Dawson Guest, the shortstop, will bat ninth. Again, Cooper Twilliger is on the mound for Post State here in game number two. It is a 11-1 win in game number one for Post State. We're getting set for game number two. We'll take a break for another 3 minutes. Come back with more of the pregame show of game two after this. Listen to Post State Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
At AgTegra, we're leveraging the power of the cooperative to benefit our farmers and ranchers, their families, and local communities. We're creating jobs for your neighbors and putting money back into our communities. We're lending a hand in our rural fire departments, food banks, and 4-H and FFA programs. That's what local is all about. When you do business at AgTegra, you help us make a difference in your community. AgTegra, strong, stable, dependable, and local.
Stolken Peterson LLP has been your local CPA firm for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our number one priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224-5828. That's Stolken Peterson LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre. Brought to you by Limebach Construction Incorporated, who can build your recreational home or building along the beautiful lower Lake Oahe area. Whether if your hobby is hunting, fishing, travel, or water sports, we can come up with a building design that will fit your interests and expectations. We pride ourselves on using quality products, customer service, and open communication. Limebach Construction is locally owned and operated, serving the Missouri River community since 1994. For area of service and more information, contact Bill Limebach at 605-223-2738. That's 605-223-2738. Comtech, your local technology solutions provider, is now located on the truck bypass. With great brands like Bose, Sonos, LG, Samsung, Lenovo, and so much more. Stop in to see their new showroom for everything in stock for your personal or business needs. Comtech provides professional installation and service after the sale. Comtech is your local technology store, located now on the truck bypass, or visit us on the web at comtechplus.com.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Nystrom Electrical Contracting in Pierre has been providing professional sales, service, and installation since 1977. Whether you're starting from scratch, new construction, or you're upgrading your current system at your home, farm, or office, give the professionals at Nystrom Electrical Contracting a call. They've got a lot of bright ideas. Call Nystrom's today to schedule a free computer-generated estimate. The number is 224-8750, or visit their website at nystromelectric.com. Getting set here for the second game of our doubleheader between Pierre and Spearfish. Cooper Twilliger on the right field bullpen right now, getting set. He is loosing and getting set to ready to go for this ball game as the Eights are looking for a doubleheader sweep. And for Twilliger, we can go through his stats here real quick, what he has done through his couple starts, as Twilliger has thrown 20 innings in 4 starts, a 1-3 record, 19 hits, 16 runs, 11 earned runs, 15 walks, 14 strikeouts, and as well also having in those 14 strikeouts, an ERA at 3.85 and whip at 1.7, batting average against at 260. He will go against Tucker Olson, and for Olson, this will be His sixth start, ninth appearance overall, 20 and a third innings so far. He is 2-0. 29 hits, 24 runs, 20 of them earned. 17 walks, 17 strikeouts, an ERA at 6.88, and a whip at 2.26, and a batting average against at 322. Post State had 17 hits in game number one as they were able to get 15 singles and 2 doubles. In the first 2 hits were 2 doubles, and then 15 singles after that. As the Eights are just about set and ready to take the field, we'll take one more 1-minute break. We'll come back and have first pitch for you next. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Nystrom Electrical Contracting in Pierre has been providing professional sales, service, and installation since 1977. Whether you're starting from scratch, new construction, or you're upgrading your current system at your home, farm, or office, give the professionals at Nystrom Electrical Contracting a call. They've got a lot of bright ideas. Call Nystrom's today to schedule a free computer-generated estimate. The number is 224-8750, or visit their website at nystromelectric.com.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
As we have Post States on the mound and on the field, it is going to be the Eights with Cooper Terwilliger trying to get the doubleheader sweep for Pierre in this ball game. As we are getting things ready to go, Blake Dean will join us here momentarily as he will join in on the broadcast here for game number 2 as we are getting set to get started here around 5:20, right around the time kind of expecting to get rolling for this second game of the doubleheader. Also, if you're on the KCCR, listening on KCCR, that we will have coverage picking up of the NBA draft after we're done here this evening. We'll have day 2 draft coverage starting at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We'll have that on KCCR as well. But then the weekend, well, and I guess it's technically not a game, but overall Thursday and Friday for the first time since early April, we'll go two nights without a game of some kind. We'll have games of Major League Baseball Saturday and Sunday for you on KCCR. But it's been a long time since we've had a couple of nights in a row without anything happening. We've had a lot of playoff hockey, basketball, baseball with obviously Pierre and for the Governors and Post State. Then also on top of the Women's College World Series, the Men's College World Series, Major League Baseball thrown in there as well. It's been a fun couple of months. And still got a little bit of ways to go here in the summer. But it's always busy with a lot of sports on the airwaves on KCCR. And it's odd to have a slower couple of days. But here we go for the start of game number 2 as Travis Jewell lead things off. He's the second baseman here for game number 2, just like he was the second baseman for game number 1. And we are set and ready to go for game 2 from Heinz Stadium. Terwilliger is set and ready to go on the mound. In game 2, we'll get underway with the first pitch from the tall right-handed Terwilliger. It'll miss low for ball 1 as we are underway at 5:21. Still 83 degrees here in Pierre at Heinz Stadium. As the Eights will be looking for their first doubleheader sweep of the season. 1-0 pitch will miss low and the count's now 2-0. Travis Jewell in game number 1 for Spearfish went 0 for 1. He walked to open the game, was hit by a pitch in the open the third, and then led off the 5th with a 4-3 ground out. Here's a ground ball that's going to be up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Got right up the middle for a base hit. Passed it out, stretch Dawson gets. And the leadoff man is on to kick off the ball game. And it brings up Aiden Meverden. Meverden will bat second. Cody Chapman, the center fielder, batting third. Jack Branham, the first baseman, batting fourth. Aylin Heiting, the left fielder, batting fifth. The Brock Lewis, the third baseman, will follow. Tucker Olson is batting seventh. He's the pitcher. Will Scharf, the right fielder, batting eighth. And Owen Bruner, the catcher, will batting ninth. Here for Spearfish Post 164. Showing bunt, pulling it back and taking it low for ball 1 is Aiden Meverden, the shortstop, who went 0 for 3, had just 2 hits in the ballgame for Spearfish. Branham had an RBI single. Heiting had a base hit in the second inning. Here's the 1-0, not showing bunt, swinging and missing for a strike, and the count's now 1-1. Here to the number 2 hitter, Aiden Meverden. That one will bounce and hit, and we'll pick up a first and second base runner now. Runners at first and second with nobody out for Cody Chapman. Post State Junior Legion also in action today. They're playing Spearfish out in Spearfish, and a 13-1 win for the Yates Junior Legion team in Game 1. So right now, Post State baseball today between the 13U Junior Legion and the Senior Legion, 3-0 with all teams winning in that first game of a doubleheader. First pitch with runners at first and second. That one's fouled out of play to the right side for Cody Chapman. Chapman, again, it was Branham, the number 4 hitter, and Heiting, the number 5 hitter, that each had a base hit. Chapman went 0 for 3. He's down the count 0-1 here at the top of the first. That one's over for a strike at the knees, and the count's now 0-2. So an 0-2 count here with nobody out in the top of the first. Number 3 hitter Chapman trying to give Spearfish their first lead today. They'll have 3, 4, and 5 to try and make that happen. 0-2 pitch. Good pitch by Terwilliger, but not chasing was Chapman. And the count's now 1-2. Chapman, 324 batting average. Again, the team leader in RBIs with 28. Coming into this doubleheader. 1-2, that will bounce in. Peterson blocks it up. The count goes now 2-2. And for Terwilliger, the stats are very good. The one stat is the amount of walks that he has allowed, with 15 walks and 14 strikeouts. The 2-2. That one's at the knees for strike 3. And there's one down for a strikeout of the ball game for Terwilliger. It brings up Jack Branham. But for the most part, again, too, they not allowing a whole lot of base hits against him. Just 19 hits in 20 innings. And 15 walks in those 20 innings. So that ERA, or the whip, is under 2. There's a ground ball to the right side. Shufflebein will field. He'll throw to second for 1. Back to first. They got him for a double play. I didn't think there was a chance for Shufflebein to throw to second, but he takes the lead runner and fires a strike to first. It's a 4-6-3 double play, and the inning comes to an end. So after a leadoff single, the Yates are able to get out of it to no runs, a hit, and no errors, and one man left on base. No score between Pierre and Spearfish as the Yates will come to the plate to the bottom of the first. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back. The sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good, solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebein Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
It is
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
It is the bottom of the first, and no score between Pierre and Spearfish on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. As we welcome in Blake Dean to the broadcast, as the Eights will have the first three hitters: Nolan Peterson, Sutton Sunshine, and Grayson Hunsley. And Blake, obviously, you're getting here now, but being able to kind of watch Game Changer a little bit and maybe pull up the YouTube feed or the KCCRradio.com stream. Really good first game for Post State to get the bats going, as the first pitch will miss for ball one to Nolan Peterson. And that was a game that Pierre needed to win, get the morale going a little bit, but also maybe get the bats, get the arms, get everything going in the right way, as Peterson will foul the 1-0 pitch out of play, and the count's now 1-1.
Yeah, just a big confidence boost, big confidence injection in the arm of the Post State Eights here, getting an 11-1 win against Spearfish in 6 innings. Big day at the plate, like you said. Good to get the bats going a little bit. Nolan Peterson, the guy at the plate right now, had 3 hits in the first game. Dawson Getz had 4. He was 4 for 4 with 4 runs. Then you look at Grayson Hunsley, had a double, 2 hits, a run as well. Trevor Rounds had a couple RBI. Schuffelbein had 3 RBI. Bottom of the lineup's producing. So really kind of a top to bottom effort for the Eights in that first game. And Miles Doyle doing Miles Doyle things on the mound, and that all results in the third Post State win of the season.
The 2-2 pitch, or excuse me, the
3-1.
3-1 pitch was taken for a strike, and the count's now 3-2. Yeah, 17 hits in game one. All 9 guys recorded at least a hit in the 11-1 win. 3-2 pitch to Peterson. That'll be a base hit in the right field, and it will be a leadoff single. And the Eights will pick up right where they left off in that first game. Peterson on with another base hit, and it will bring up now Sutton Sunshine. So that's already the 4th hit today for Nolan Peterson, as he is 4 for 5 today. Sunshine now will come to the plate. He went 1 for 3 with an RBI. The best hitter on the team by average, .421 batting average coming into this doubleheader. Leading the team in hits. Tied for the most doubles on the team as well, with also a triple in there. And the most RBIs for Post State, as that one will miss high for ball one. And I mentioned this last night, too, during the Watertown doubleheader, that guys like Sunshine, Terwilliger, who's on the mound, you mentioned Schuffelbein that got 3 RBIs in the win. That'll be off the bat of Sutton Sunshine, so the count's now 1-1. These guys are going to be sophomores in high school next year. This is not a couple of guys that are going to be seniors or even juniors. They're going to be sophomores next year. Yeah,
if 3 of your top guys are, still going to be underclassmen when the school year starts in the fall, that sets up the Post State program, to be really successful in the next few years, especially with these guys producing as well as they are now, just after their freshman years ended.
Counts 2-1 here to Sunshine, as Peterson will lead away from first. The 2-1 pitch. I don't want to catch the zone. The count's now 2-2. Eights nearly are looking for their 3rd win of the last 2 days. Obviously looking for their 2nd one after winning game number 1 here. But had a 5-4 bottom of the 9th, the walk-off double loss last night to Watertown. As the runner takes off, the pitch will be grounded to the shortstop. Everton will make the play. The throw to first will be in time. But with Peterson on the move, there's no chance to try and turn a double play. So it is a ground out, but a productive out with the runner advancing to second. 6-3 on the ground out, 1 down, and it brings up the number 3 hitter, third baseman, and Grayson Hunsley.
Well, that was just a good hit and run there by Sunshine, and Peterson executed there. Off the end of the bat from Sunshine, didn't look like he got a whole lot on it, but was hit softly enough to where Peterson was able to get to second base. Like you said, no chance for double play.
This will be flown out towards right field. Coming in is Scharf. He will make the catch. Peterson will tag. He's on his way to third. The throw coming in, it was just a bit behind, and Peterson will dive safely in at third for the 2nd out. And one where you're kind of testing the arm of the right fielder. he was playing right field in game number 1 and worth the risk in the first inning where you feel like, I know, it's a runner on at third with 2 outs in the first inning, but after the 17 hits in game 1, you feel like you can take a risk in the first inning knowing that you feel pretty confident that your offense will score runs even if you get thrown out. I know it'd be the third out at third, but you still feel confident to take that risk with the way the offense hit the ball in the game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I don't know, like I said, wasn't here for game 1, so I don't know if they were able to test the right fielder's arm a lot in that first game by peppering him. But just a good read there by Peterson off the bat. Wind's actually blowing in from right field, so right fielder was able to, put all he had on the throw as that one's fouled back to the screen for strike number 2. But, got a chance to hang up there a little bit and test the arm of the right fielder. Peterson, obviously, good baseball player, good baseball IQ, made the right read, and throw came in a little bit behind him, and he's standing on third here with 2 outs.
1-2 pitch to Simpson will bounce in. That will get up the first base line. That one did not feel good to the catcher in Bruner. And the way that ball went up the line, it was hard for Peterson to really get a good read to take off. And for Bruner, he's going to have to, might have hit him in a spot to give him somewhat of a dead leg. And the count is now at 2-2, so he will take his time to walk out to the mound. Simpson had an RBI double in that first inning. That's a play where if Peterson gets it, well, you can't hesitate. If you're going to try and score, you can't hesitate on a ball that you can see going up the line. But if the catcher doesn't have what looked like a dead leg on that ball hitting him in the leg, he probably gets up, gets to it, and that's a really close play at the plate.
Right.
And so Peterson, don't blame him for not going. If he had the vision to know that the catcher was going to be slow to get up from blocking the ball, be a different story. But here's a 2-2 now to Simpson. He will foul it off right at the plate off the catcher's glove, and the count remains at 2-2.
Yeah, that one. And another thing to keep in mind, too, to that point, John, is Spearfish only has one bench player listed on the roster in number 23, Sean Sewell. So if anybody goes down, they're basically running without a bench here.
The 2-2 pitch will miss outside. The count's now 3-2. It was a close take, but missing for ball 3. And on deck, George Stallion trying to extend this inning out here in the bottom of the first and maybe get that first run in. 3-2 pitch. That'll miss for ball 4, and it will be a 2-out walk issued to Simpson. And there is runners at first and third here with 2 away, and it brings up George Stallion. And Stallion 1 for 4 in the ball game with an RBI. Also reached on an error in that 5th inning in game number 1, as he had just 1 at-bat in the first game against Watertown, and then in game number 2 ended up going 1 for 3 against Watertown. As the pickoff attempt will get away from the first baseman, threw over the head of the first baseman. Simpson will round second. He's on his now way to third. The run does come into score of Peterson. He stands at third base. It's a 1-0 lead for Pierre. They take advantage of the throwing error from the pitcher in Tucker Olson.
Yeah, Olson just overshot first base. Really no chance for the first baseman to make that play. And that ball gets away from both him and lands in a spot between him and the right fielder, as Stalley will pop this one up to the right fielder. He'll make the catch for out number 3, but a big error there by Spearfish. Post 164 leads to a run for post 8 in the bottom of the first, and they take a 1-0 lead going into the second.
1 run on a hit, an error, and a man left on base. 1-0 for Pierre at the end of 1. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Tons Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Tons Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Tons Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Tons Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones financial advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones financial advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC. It is the top of the second, a 1-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. And it will be 5, 6, and 7 for the Spearfish Post 164 team. Halen Heiding, Brock Lewis, and Tucker Olson, the first three hitters. As the Aids will be looking for their second straight win, get to 4-18 of the season. And then mentioned, too, last night, a 5-4 9-inning loss, a 13-7 loss in game number 2, where they had 7 unearned runs against, did Post State. And what we are seeing now from Post State, especially in that first win, is what this team is capable of doing if they put a full game together. And even then, it's, the way they had so many singles, the ball, it's a little bit harder every once in a while, and guys are going to get doubles. They're going to score even more. They're going to put a more complete game than that in, as the first pitch is a swing and a miss to Halen Heiding. But this team is, you're seeing the experience get there, and what these guys now are doing with that experience and the process of moving along in this summer as the count's 1-1 to Heiding.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just, that, like you said, that experience and putting together a complete baseball game, and then, stacking wins, building confidence, building a winning streak. And that, I think, will come as the season progresses, as that one is over the outside corner for strike number 2. But that's the thing with a young team to watch over the course of the season is, do they grow and do they pick up good experience along the way?
Ground ball to Dawson Getz at short. His low throw is dug out by J.J. Buckles over at first, and the leadoff man is retired as Getz had to be quick. It was a high chopper that forced him to wait a little bit longer to make that play, but still threw a fast one across. I was going to say good one, and it still was good because, Bug, you give your first baseman a chance to scoop it out. Better to throw it low than throw it too high. And Buckles with a good scoop at first to retire the leadoff man, and it brings up Brock Lewis as he waits in the first pitch, and it'll be over just high for ball 1.
Yeah, good play there by Getz. Waiting on the good hop, knowing that he was still going to have time to throw, like you said. A little bit of a quicker throw than he probably would have liked, as that pitch is crossed the inner half of the plate for strike number 1. But to your point, put a little bit more mustard on it and keeping it low to where Buckles was able to scoop it out for out number 1.
1-1 count here. Pitch to Brock Lewis. Swing and a foul out of play on the right side. The count's now 1-2. So many guys on this team that are getting their first experience. So many, we look at a lot of teams, a lot of the better end teams in the state right now. They were returning, around 10-plus guys to their team for this year. Post State was getting 10-plus guys to have their first games of the of Senior Legion, and some, played high school baseball and got some of that experience, but going from even just a couple of at-bats in varsity baseball. As there's a ground ball to Hunsley over at third. He'll make the play. His throw to first, another lower one, but Buckles is there. And there's 2 down as back-to-back ground downs here to open up the top of the second. It brings up the pitcher, Tucker Olson. And it just, the short at-bats or the small amount of bats does help going into the summer, but you really don't find your groove until you get those consistent at-bats that we've seen from now this eights lineup, who have had almost 30 hits in the last 2 games going into this second game of the doubleheader.
Yeah, the biggest thing is just building confidence and stacking wins. And, the more experience that you can get, as this one is lined into left field, right at the left fielder for out number 3 for the Eights, and that was Sun and Shine and left to end the inning for Pierre, and they're coming to bat with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second.
The 1-2-3 inning for Terwilliger. We head to the bottom of the second. 1-0 lead for Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and upper benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Wagner Auto Company is your complete transportation headquarters. Now is the time to order your new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, plus a good selection of quality pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles. They'll take care of you after the sale with a full-service parts and auto body shop with trained technicians, along with a friendly financing team that'll work with you to find the best deal and one that'll fit your budget. Wagner Auto is your local full-service family-owned dealership for over 115 years. WagnerAuto.com. That's WagnerAuto.com.
Bottom of the second, it is a 1-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish. And for the Eights here in the second inning, it'll be 6, 7, and 8. J.J. Buckles, Carter Shufflebine, and Bridger Babcock. With then Dawson Getz to follow if any of the three reach base. Again, after we're done here this afternoon, we've got the NBA, I guess this evening, we are in the evening now. We've got the NBA draft that will have coverage, which was scheduled to start at 6 o'clock. Obviously, we will join that in progress whenever this doubleheader is done and the second game is over with. And we'll have day 2 coverage at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon for day 2 here on KCCR. And we'll talk some NBA drafts with our NBA experts to my right and Blake Dean.
That's a little bit too much praise as far as that goes.
Buckles will line that one foul over the top of the head of River Iverson, Coach Iverson, for strike one. I mean, in comparative to where my NBA expertise is to your NBA expertise, it is you are the NBA expert of, at least of this broadcast.
Well, I'll accept that if you'll take NHL expert.
Well, between the two of us, I'll take that, absolutely.
Yep.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's at the knees for a strike. The count's now 0-2. Are the Timberwolves a good first-round pick away from getting to the NBA Finals next year?
I don't know.
Take away the Minnesota, always falters, all that stuff, and
right.
Just kind of an unbiased look as Buckles will swing and miss for the first out and a 3-pitch strikeout, and I'll bring up Carter Shufflebine. But being, 2-3 wins away from the NBA Finals this year, do they have one piece missing to try and get to that NBA Finals?
Objectively, probably, if you look at the roster, how it's constructed right now, assuming everybody stays at the same level and you don't get age regression or anything like that, because starting point guard Mike Conley is going to be going into his 18th NBA season this next year or something crazy like that. As Shufflebine will pop this one into shallow center. Nice play by the shortstop for Spearfish in pulling up his name right now. That would be Meverdens, for out number 2. But, objectively, if you look at the roster, I would say they're probably a backup point guard away from competing. There's talk that they might be looking to trade Karl Towns this offseason just because contractually speaking that might be an issue. So there's a lot of different ways that they will go, and I think tonight will be an indication of what their plans are with who they take.
Bridger Babcock out toward the left side of the infield. Meverdens will come in and make the basket catch as he makes 2 of the 3 outs in that second inning. A 1-2-3 second inning. I guess that was all the talk we had for the NBA draft as quickly as that inning went. It's a 1-0 lead for Spearfish at the end of 2. Back in a minute to make that a 1-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish at the end of 2. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
YAG Air Incorporated is your locally owned ag, chemical, and seed retailer. YAG Air Incorporated offers reliable ground and aerial application. For the latest seed and chemical pricing, contact Kyle at 605-280-8710 or Tony at 605-280-4771. YAG Air for all your ag, chemical, and seed needs. Kyle, 605-280-8710 or Tony, 605-280-4771.
Sometimes you get a piece of it and the ball sails over the fence. Other times, despite your best efforts, you strike out. I'm not just talking about the game, I mean your day. This is Pastor Sam of Faith Lutheran Church. Whether today feels like a home run or a strikeout, I encourage you to join us for worship. We celebrate when God gives us a wonderful day. We provide support and encouragement when that third strike comes. Come join us for encouraging and uplifting worship at Faith Lutheran Church.
It is the top of the third and a 1-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish as we get our first train to come through. And we had in Minot, especially that the first game on Saturday when it took 2 hours and 59 minutes to play, we had, I think, 5 trains come through.
Excellent.
So it's still at a certain point. I think here might end up being just a little bit louder when it's coming right across the street and getting, right behind right field, just because of how close it is. But definitely in Minot, there's just way too many trains that come through. Here's a ground ball on the first pitch. Dawson Getz will gobble that up at short. His throw to first will be in time, and 1 pitch and 1 out to start the top of the third inning. And we'll bring up now the number 9 hitter, Owen Bruner. It is 8-9-1. Bruner, the catcher, followed by then Travis Jewell, the top of the order, here to open up the top of the third inning.
Yeah, Minot is a train magnet. You got the trains that roll through about hourly up there. You got the howler monkeys across the street at the zoo, which we've talked about before. Those are the two things, on top of the fact that I think you're playing at a ballpark that really is a collegiate baseball field, because I think Minot State plays up there.
They do, yep.
So a fantastic facility all the way around, but those are the three things that stick out to me. Great ballpark, train rolling through about every hour, and you are walking into the stadium and walking out of the stadium, and the howler monkeys are going full force.
And I never until this weekend had heard the monkeys
making
noise in the as the train is starting to make its way into eyesight here at Hyde Stadium. But never had heard the monkeys from the grandstand where I was sitting at. The count's 3-1 here to Bruner. But this weekend I did hear the monkeys. Once the sun came out, it was a cloudy day. Never heard them. The sun came out, and they were loud, and they were very happy. I'm assuming we're very happy. Here's a ground ball to the third baseman, Grayson Hunsley. He stays down on that. The train tries to mess up on the throw, but can't do it with the horn. And there's now 2 down. And it will bring up the top of the order in Travis Jewell. Come on. The train, right as Hunsley's trying to throw the ball, the train blows the horn, trying to mess him up. And good on Hunsley for not letting the ball slip out of his hands with the horn of the train.
Yeah, absolutely. Good concentration there by Hunsley. I don't think the conductor's super concerned about the baseball game going on right now, but good concentration by Hunsley nonetheless.
That one will be missing low and away for ball 1. He could have the game up on YouTube at KCCR
That's
Sports.
Right.
Now, it would be 30 seconds behind, and so
That's true.
He thought maybe he was getting away with the horn of not dealing with anybody being having to worry about it. Here's the ground ball back up the middle, just underneath the glove of Terwilliger. Shuffle by in field, makes the quick throw to first, and 3 ground ball outs and another 1-2-3 inning for Terwilliger. He has retired 8 in a row, dating back to the first inning. 1-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish at the end of 2.5. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Look, it's no secret that owning a vehicle can cause a lot of stress, and they get a lot of wear and tear on them through the extreme seasons we've grown to love. Graham Tire wants you to know that you can trust them with any problem that you have with your vehicle. Their ASE certified mechanics can make your AC cool again, or even just change your oil. They can look into and fix those noises that seem to come from nowhere and have you stressed out. Bring your car to Graham Tire so they can put your mind at ease. Graham Tire, your tire store next door.
Why am I so sore? There are everyday moments.
What? Hey, hold the ladder! Hold the ladder!
Yeah, that hurt. And there are epic moments.
Slide, slide, slide! College! Slide, class of 1995!
When a moment creates a health need, visit the experts at Avera Orthopedics. We're moving health forward so you can tell the story. Learn more at avera.org/orthopedics.
It is the bottom of the third, and a 1-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard, and it will be 9-1-2. Dawson Getz, Nolan Peterson, and Sutton Sunshine. And let's talk about Dawson Getz, who went 4 for 4 last game, and he goes from the 7th spot to the 9th spot. And a lot of times people would say, oh, he got demoted in the lineup, but I think what Coach Iverson also sees is 1 through 9, how good the lineup was last game. But then you think about, boy, if I can get Dawson Getz on base to bring up the top of the order with him being on 4 for 4, regardless if he's starting an inning, he comes up and he's on base. It's a good strategy to maybe move him to the 9th spot. And now here, especially in this inning, it's a double leadoff for Pierre.
Yeah, it really is. And Getz having this good game one as he did, you're really looking to start an inning with him or just get a guy on base for the lineup to turn over, and then, having somebody on when the lineup turns over just changes the entire dynamic of an inning in a baseball game if you can start an inning with somebody or just start a rally with somebody on base when that lineup turns over.
First pitch to him, a swing and a miss with a curveball for strike one. So it is Getz, Peterson, and Sunshine, and anybody reaches base, it'll be Grayson Hunsley. 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the third, a 1-2-3 inning for Tucker Olson in the second. He has retired 4 straights after the walk to Charlie Simpson. And the ground ball to the right side. This will be fielded by the second baseman in duel. His throw to first will retire Getz, and the leadoff man is gone here in the bottom of the third, and it brings up the top of the order in Nolan Peterson. So outside of the error from the pitcher and Tucker Olson, I mean, unfortunately for Olson, he gets an unearned run against him, but it turns out that it's on him for the unearned run. But the only reason why the Eights have the lead is the pickoff attempt that went over the head of the first baseman. Otherwise, it would still be a 0-0 here with the bottom of the third with 1 out.
Yeah, that's the difference in the ball game right now is that pickoff attempt from Olson over to first that sailed over the head of the first baseman in Branham. And the ball gets to right field, lands between him and Scharf, and that allows Peterson to score. And that's, like you said, it's the difference in the ball game is the count is now 2-0, to Nolan Peterson.
And Peterson does have the only hit for Post State right now. Both teams led off the first inning with base hits, but have not had a base hit since then. Here's the 2-0. This will be fouled back, and it'll end up being a 2-1 count. If that would have been a little bit over to the right and a little bit low, like maybe not even a foot lower, about 6 inches lower, that would have been right into the press box.
Yeah, that would have been really close.
Here's the 2-1 pitch to Nolan Peterson. There's a line shot to left field, but right to it, diving for it as a left fielder in hiding to make the catch. It was sinking and hooking away from him, and he was able to dive and make the catch, and Peterson is robbed of his 5th hit today. And it brings up Sutton Sunshine with 2 outs and nobody on.
Yeah, I don't think Peterson could have stung that ball any harder, but it was just unfortunately right at Halen Hiding, who was positioned almost perfectly, took maybe about a step or two to his right and made a diving catch out in the outfield.
First pitch will miss low for ball 1 to Sunshine, who ground out of the shortstop in his first trip to the plate. 0 for 1 so far in this ball game. Looking to retire would be 7 in a row if he can get Sunshine and match Cooper Twilliger in the second and third, with both pitchers having 1, 2, 3 innings in each of those 2 innings. Counts 1-1 here to Sunshine. Pitch from Olson will be high for ball 2, and the count's 2-1. The Eights after today will not play again until next Tuesday when they host Sioux Falls East, as Post 15 will be in town. It'll be the same time as today, 3 o'clock for first pitch, 5 o'clock-ish, 5:30-ish for game number 2, as that'll miss low, and the count's 3-1 here to Sunshine. And then the Eights then will have the 4th of July off until the Sunday when Box Elder will be in town, which Box Elder teams got more of the Stevens Raiders, some of the Stevens Raiders players. Here's a ground ball by Sunshine, the 3-1 pitch, fielded by the shortstop. The throw from Everton will be in time, and it's another 1, 2, 3 inning for Tucker Olson. So both pitchers have retired 6 up and 6 down the last 2 innings, and it is a 1-0 lead still for Pierre at the end of 3 over Spearfish. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
The Toyota truck family. Outlast and outlive every adventure. The Toyota Tundra is large and in charge with exceptional performance, making the powerhouse ultra-capable for practically any task. The Tundra delivers proper performance with a twin-turbo V6 engine and 10-speed automatic transmission for when the going gets rough. Whether you're conquering off-road trails or hauling the weight of the world, the Toyota Tundra at Capital City Toyota is offering great APR rates as low as 1.99% for 48 months, with other specials up to 72 months for qualified buyers. Contact a sales professional at Capital City Toyota today.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
It is a 1-0 lead here at the top of the fourth of the American Family Insurance Brittany Schoffelbein scoreboard. And it will be 2, 3, and 4 for Spearfish. Aiden Meverden, Cody Chapman, and Jack Branham will be the first three hitters here for Spearfish post 164. After a hit by pitch of Meverden, it has been 8 straight retired. And see if now that Terwilliger can get to 9 in a row. As it will be Meverden, who was then also thrown out of that double play as well in that first inning. So they have only had just one man be left on base. Both teams with just one left on base. It's no runs, a hit, and an error for Spearfish, a run, a hit, and no errors for Pierre. And again, the difference of this game is that error that forced the run home for Post State, or helped the run get home for Post State. First pitch, a swing and a miss by Meverden for strike one. As Terwilliger has been, ever since those first two guys of a base hit and hit by a pitch, has really settled into this ball game. And looking to continue that here in the top of the fourth. The 0-1, that was upstairs, and the count's 1-1.
Yeah, Terwilliger's really looked good, like you said. Spotting the curveball every once in a while will find the zone. He's spotting the fastball up really nicely, inducing a lot of weak contact from Spearfish thus far as that curveball finds the inside corner for strike two.
So the count now 1-2 here to Terwilliger. Looking at the standings, Spearfish at 7 and 8 in the South Dakota standings, and they are currently in the 13th spot. As there's a ground ball to the shortstop, and Dawson gets. He will field his throw to first, will retire. Meverden is 9 in a row now, set down by Cooper Terwilliger, and it brings up the number 3 hitter, Cody Chapman, with 1 out and nobody on. Spearfish, right now, if the season ended today, it would be Post 22 hosting Spearfish in a best of 3. Post 8 is on the outside looking in. Now that win, and maybe another win here, can be really helpful to try and get Post 8 at least into that top 15. But we'll see how that would shake out at the end of the day. And I think it very well could. But then as the 8 start to win more games, and hopefully they do, other teams will pick up a couple extra seed points. Post 320, a team that's right in front of them. They're the 15th seed. That if they, Post 8 wins a couple games, then all of a sudden they get a couple extra seed points for playing period with the win percentage changing. But the 8s are now 2 and 10 in South Dakota games, looking to get to 3 and 10. That'll be fouled, and the count's now 1 and 2 here to Cody Chapman.
Yeah, this would be a big sweep here for the 8s if they're able to sweep Spearfish here this afternoon and this evening. Like you said, big for the seed points and could possibly push them into playoff contention. And again, we talked about it earlier in the game. They can continue to stack wins and continue to build confidence as the season rolls around. They'll get a chance for a playoff series at the end of the year.
You are listening to KCCR Pierre, Riverfront Broadcasting Station, as we're past 6 o'clock on this Wednesday evening. The top of the South Dakota standings, it is Harrisburg Gold and Runner, both sitting at 1 and 2 with a combined record at 18 and 0, as that one's fouled back by Chapman. Harrisburg Gold at 7 and 0, Runner Royals at 11 and 0, and Post 22 is at 12 and 1, and sitting at the number 3 spot. Sioux Falls East at 9 and 3, and we will see East next Tuesday. So that 9-3 record going to be good at the end of the season for East. They're a very good team. They were one of the top 3 at the end of the season last year and have consistently over the last 5 years been up near the top of the standings. But just like Watertown, who is up by the standings, whether you're expecting to win or not, those wins will be huge seed points to have at the end of the season. Just those games will be good, but those wins will be huge at the end of the season. That one's fouled again by Chapman, staying alive with a 2-2 count.
Yeah, sneaking one away from a top 4 team would do wonders for Post 8's seed points. And like you said, give them the edge over maybe some other teams come the end of the year.
2-2 again, swing and a miss. A strikeout, 2 down here in the top of the 4th. That is the second strikeout of the ball game, as Chapman has been the strikeout victim both times. And it brings up Jack Branham.
Yeah, just fooled Chapman on the curveball, did Terwilliger. Swung at it in the dirt for strike 3, or down low for strike 3, rather. For out number 2 here in this top of the 4th, Terwilliger continues to deal as Branham swings through the first pitch for strike 1.
You look at the standings overall for South Dakota, and Brookings are automatically in. They're hosting the state tournament. Doesn't matter if they are the worst team in the state or the best team in the state. They will be a team in the state tournament as it counts 1-1. But boy, it is, Harrisburg at 1, Renner at 2, Post 22 at 3, East at 4, Watertown at 5. We saw Aberdeen and how good they can be. They're at 6. As Branham will sky this out towards left field. Sunshine will get over to it. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Cooper Terwilliger as he's retired 11 in a row through now 4 shutout innings. We head to the bottom of the 4th. We'll continue talking about the South Dakota standings coming up here after this commercial break. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
It is the bottom of the 4th, the 1-0 lead for Post 8 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. As it is Grayson Hunsley, Charlie Simpson, and George Staley, 3, 4, and 5 here for the 8s. As Blake and I were talking during the commercial break that 1 through 6, and I kind of mentioned it too, that there are some really good teams 1 through 6. And then you add on Brookings, that would be a 7th team that's automatically in. Or it is in, 1 through 6 isn't automatically in, but they're going to be really tough to beat. That doesn't leave a whole lot for these lower seeds to feel pretty confident going in, as Hunsley will ground the first pitch over to Meverton at short, and the throw to first will be 1 pitch and 1 out here to open up the bottom of the 4th inning. But then you look at the left side of the bracket, and obviously Spearfish is one of those teams on the left side. I think there's a lot of teams on the right side of the bracket, whether they've played Pierre or not, is saying, boy, we'd rather take one of these other teams on the left side right now, other than maybe Brandon Valley. Pierre and Brandon Valley right now, the 2 teams on the left side of the bracket, you're saying, please give us anybody but them.
Yeah, and those 2 teams are, Brandon Valley went really deep into the spring season, kind of eye-opening that they've struggled as much as they have to start the summer season, as the count is 2-0 here. But to that point, if Pierre can continue to build momentum and stack wins, really in the losses that they've had thus far too, they played really, really good baseball. And so you're right in the fact that the top 6-7 teams in the standings right now, as the count's now 3-1, do not want to see a team like a Pierre or a team like a Brandon Valley to your point.
Now, Brandon Valley will give them the benefit of the doubt because they are just 2-1 so far in South Dakota games.
Oh, that's fair.
That one's over for a strike. The count's now 3-2. And kind of was looking at the potential first-round matchups, but not looking at their record overall. Then I had flipped over to the left side of it all and saw that they were 2-1. They split with West, and they beat Huron. They are playing then on Friday against Harrisburg Gold, so that'll be a big test for them as the count remains at 3-2. But they will play most of their South Dakota games, and Pierre will be one of those South Dakota games towards the end of the season. But they will play most of it at the end of the month of July. But even then, you one of those teams on the right side is going to end up having to go on the left side if Brandon Valley takes it, if they take that spot, and it just puts it shows with that walk to Simpson that there are some really good teams in South Dakota. But there are more than just 8 teams that are going to be really good. 8-9 teams are going to be good. There's going to be a really couple difficult matchups for teams in the best of 3 that will be the favorite, but they won't feel too comfortable playing in the best of 3 series as the first pitch misses for ball 1 here to George Stalley.
And I think that just goes to show how deep Class A baseball is at the Legion level this year. You got, probably 8, 9, 10 teams that, if things are going right, they are very dangerous ball clubs, as Stalley will take now 2 balls in a row after the walk to Simpson. And so, probably either gearing up for a fastball as Olsen tries to pick off to first base. Simpson dives back in safely. So Stalley probably looking for one pitch and one pitch only. Otherwise, he's going to probably look to take a strike here.
Here's the 2-0 pitch from Olsen. That'll bounce in. We'll get to the backstop, and to second will go Simpson, who thought about maybe trying to go out to third base, but it is a 3-0 count and advancing on the wild pitch. And now, especially with the 3-0 count and how none have really been close in the zone, Stalley will most likely be taken all the way again to get that first strike before he'll swing.
Now you're not looking for any pitch at all.
3-0, right down the middle for a strike, and the count's 3-1. But Stalley can make this a 2-0 lead with a base hit with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. 1-0. Post State got a run on the throwing error on a pickoff attempt when it was first and third, as it'll be a walk to Stalley, and it's now first and second here with 1 out, and it will bring up J.J. Buckles, who struck out swinging his first at-bats.
Yeah, big opportunity here for the Eights now with 2 runners on base, and Buckles stepping to the plate. Opportunity to maybe move some runners. We'll see what he can do, or put one in a gap somewhere and let both Simpson and Stalley run.
Here's the first pitch. It'll be upstairs for ball 1. And the other thing, too, about what makes Post State a dangerous team is what we've seen over the last couple of games, pitching-wise, too, that you get Miles Doyle and Cooper Twilliger, your 1 and 2 game starters. And then after that, as Buckles will launch this one out towards left field. That one will go back out to the wall. It is going to hit the bottom of the wall. It's a fair ball, and a run will come in to score. As Stalley maybe didn't get a good jump on it to get over to third, but it'll be a wall hit single for J.J. Buckles to drive in the second run. An RBI hit for Buckles. He just missed a 3-run homer, and it's a 2-0 lead now for Post State.
Now that one looked like it may have had the distance to get out of here, but did just land. Either it hit the wall or landed at the base of the wall for probably the longest single you're ever going to see off the bat of J.J. Buckles. Does score Charlie Simpson to make it a 2-0 ball game.
First pitch is missing to Carter Scheffelbein for ball 1. And maybe for Stalley, too, he thought the ball had gone over the wall and maybe slowed up to put more of a jog on for a home run trot, and then realized that after that he was not going to attempt to go to third, as that one's a strike to Scheffelbein. The count's 1-1. He popped out to the shortstop behind second base and Meverton in his first at-bat. He's 0 for 1 after driving in 3 runs in game number 1. 1-1 pitch. Stalley takes off. Scheffelbein the line. Shot, base hit. Stalley will easily round third and come in to score. It's a 3-0 lead for Post State. Another RBI for Scheffelbein, his 4th today. And it's back-to-back RBI base hits for the Eights in a 3-0 lead.
Excellent execution on the hit and run there. Stalley takes off for third base. and Scheffelbein puts one in play. Third baseman was definitely, I think, going to cover third base. Scheffelbein puts it, probably would have been out of reach of where he was going to be playing anyway, but definitely with him trying to cover third. Stallies scores easily standing up, and we've got a 3-0 ball game here in the bottom of the fourth with now runners on first and second in Buckles and Scheffelbein.
And that's where the opposite had happened in game number 1. Rounds was stealing second, and Scheffelbein hit a line shot probably just as hard as that one was hit, and it went right to the second baseman as he was going to try and cover the bag. And when the catch was made, and the Rounds was almost standing right next to the second baseman, so it ended up being a double play. So this one, the law of averages in the game of baseball, they do work themselves out sometimes. It feels, I think everybody feels a little bit slighted a lot that it doesn't really work out in your favor, but it does kind of average out, and Scheffelbein gets that to happen for him, that he gets a base hit and an RBI like that here in game 2.
Yeah, it evened out this time that Scheffelbein stung 2 balls really, really hard, and one of them happens to work out. That's about as baseball gets right there.
So here's Bridger Babcock now. He's 0 for 1. First pitch to him will be over for strike 1. He popped out to the shortstop as well. It had been 8 straight retired for Tucker Olson before the walk to Charlie Simpson. As Babcock will ground this one, that's through the hole on the right side for a base hit. They will round Buckles and try and score. The throw will be to the first baseman. No throw home. Another RBI single. Third straight RBI single for Post 8. Bridger Babcock makes it 4-0. With his first hit, he's 1 for 2, and it's first and third with 1 out.
The shortstop, number 7.
Yeah, Babcock put one on the ground to the right of the first baseman in Branham, and I think he initially he looked like he was gonna start to try to go for it, and then at the last second kind of peeled off, and that ball went right between the first and second base hole into right field. Buckles scores standing up. Babcock moves from first to third, and Scheffelbein moves from first to third, Babcock on first. So now we've got runners at the corners and 1 out, and a 4-0 lead for the Eights.
First pitch will be blocked up by the catcher and Bruner for ball 1 as Dawson gets his 0 for 1, ground out to the second baseman in his first trip to the plate, which happened last inning, leading off the bottom of the third inning. 3 hits in the inning after a pair of walks, and those 3 hits all have driven in a run each. Babcock takes off for second. The throw will go to third. It was offline of the third base bag, but diving back in anyway. As the counts, I believe, 2-0 here to Dawson Getz, and a stolen base for Bridger Babcock. So both runners are in scoring position here with 1 out. And already 3 runs in here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 4-0 lead for Post 8. 2-0 pitch is upstairs. And the count is now 3 balls and no strikes to Dawson Getz. Top of the order, Nolan Peterson is waiting on deck. It was robbed of a 2 for 2 start of game number 2. That one's right down the middle for a strike, and the count's now 3-1. Eights are cashing in with the walks again, or walks 4, but then also stringing hits together. 4 runs on 4 hits now. That'll be ball 4, and the bases are now loaded with 1 out. And for Spearfish, it looks like this might be the end of the line for Tucker Olson, because I was just about to mention that they don't have a whole lot to go for with only 10 guys and only 1 guy sub. But, well, they will... The coach had walked out of the dugout, but he had just walked around the dugout to be on the outside of just standing in almost the exact same spot. So Nolan Peterson will dig in with the bases loaded and 1 out. The corners are in. The middle is back. Try and turn a double play to get out of this inning as the first pitch is fouled away by Peterson for strike 1. Post 8 was in that similar situation where they had a couple games with the DH and Miles Doyle, who was dealing with a back issue, didn't end up playing the field this weekend, but they had 10 guys on their lineup, and nobody for subs. So Pierre kind of feels for them a little bit. While it wasn't South Dakota games, they still kind of feel a little bit for Spearfish as it counts 1-1 here to Peterson. 1-1 pitch, that'll be missing. The count's now 2-1 here to Peterson.
I suppose as much as you can feel bad for your opposition, but
right.
They were definitely in that same predicament earlier within the last week.
There's a line shot. That is a base hit right down the right field line. And one run will come in to score. A second run will come in to score. As Schuffelbein and Babcock both come in. It's a 6-0 lead here for post 8 over post 164. First to third goes as well for Getz. And that will put an end to the day for Tucker Olson on the mound. A 2 RBI single for Nolan Peterson. He is now 2 for 3 in the game. And the Eights, with 8 men that have already come to the plate, Sunshine, who will be the 9th man to come to the plate, will deal with a new pitcher as they will have to take out Tucker Olson. We will step aside for a minute. We'll come back and tell you the changes after this. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball on KCCR, watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
People helping people. Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre. Because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union. The lawyers at the May Adam Law Firm in Pierre know how important your families are to you. If you've been putting off getting your affairs in order, know that the May Adam Law Firm is available to counsel you through your questions and help you get the documents in place so that you've made your loved ones secure. Call them at 224-8803 and they can chat with you about how to document your concerns and care for your family. We're all in this together, and the May Adam Law Firm is ready and able to help.
So Aiden Meverden will take over on the mound for Spearfish. He will deal with runners at first and third and 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning. As Meverden, he has thrown 13 2/3 innings. He has strictly been used as a relief pitcher, as this will be his 10th appearance overall. Giving up 25 hits in 13 2/3 innings, 29 runs, 27 of them earned, 28 walks, 18 strikeouts. So the ERA at 13.83. And a whip at 3.88. A batting average against at 391 for Meverden. So this is a spot for Post 8 to try and add on to this 6-0 lead. And with Sunshine, who is coming to the plate with first and third, he's the 9th man to come to the plate in this inning. Olson is a straight swap defensively, where Olson will go from the mound to short and Meverden from short to the mound. But with a 6-run lead right now, first and third, and a runner, and then only one out, and it's 2, 3, and 4 right now for Post 8. You're starting to think about, hey, if we can get a 10-run lead here, we can try and end this one early and get out of here with the doubleheader sweep of a 10-run rule in both games.
Yeah, and that would be huge for the Eights if they're able to continue to pile on here. With, they've got a good opportunity as Peterson looks to steal second, throw goes down to third again, and Getz is able to get back into third standing. So now runners at second and third with 1 out and a 1-0 count here to Sunshine.
So it will be Meverden who threw 1 pitch from the stretch and now will go work from the windup. There is some activity out in the left field bullpen as Sunshine will ground that one foul. Trying to see who it might be.
The right field bullpen,
the right field bullpen, yep.
Okay.
My left and right sometimes a little mixed up. It's hard to tell them apart sometimes. There's a 1-1 pitch that is missing upstairs, and the count's now 2-1. It could be Cooper Twilliger throwing. Yeah, it is Twilliger that is just throwing with the long inning right now. 2-1 pitch. That'll bounce in. The count's now 3-1. That's the beauty of having a player coach in Rich Leinbach who will step over the first base coaching box, and Peyton Zabel, the coach Zabel, moves out to the right field bullpen to help throw with Twilliger and kind of tell him, like, hey, we're going to throw this many pitches, as that one will miss. If the count's 3-2, was a 2-2 pitch to Sun and Shine. Here's a 3-2 now. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout of Sun and Shine, and there's now 2 down. And we'll bring up Grayson Hunsley.
Yeah, just a high fastball at about the letters there from Sun and Shine. He couldn't hold up on the 3-2 pitch there from Meverden. Meverden picks up a big strikeout for out number 2. And now even more imperative that the Eights get a hit here as Meverden misses on the curveball inside to Hunsley for ball 1.
Yeah, 5-run inning here, and this is the 10th man to come to the plate. Hunsley, who led off the inning with a ground out, and then the Eights scored all those runs with 1 out. This will be lined into left field. That's going to be down for a base hit, and 2 runs are going to come in to score. Hunsley with a wide turnaround first, but he's got a 2 RBI single to make it an 8-0 ball game here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting there by Grayson Hunsley. Just going to left center field. Not trying to swing out of his shoes by any means, but putting a good piece of metal on the ball and putting it right in front of the left fielder in Heidig. And that plates 2 more runs, 8-0 here for the Eights.
Here's a ground ball. That'll be off the shortstop and Olson. Everybody will be safe. It'll be an error charge to Olson. And the second error by Spearfish in the ball game. A 7-run inning continues right now for Post 8. And it's George Stalley who walked earlier in the inning coming back to the plate. So if the Eights can get these next 2 guys across, the Eights will have a chance to then get the final 3 outs in the 5th inning and pick up a 10-0 win quickly in this second game. But still want to have good at-bats here to finish out, not so much thinking about it, trying to drive in both runs here in this at-bat. For Stalley, just drive the ball somewhere, and wherever it might go, whether it scores 1 or 2, doesn't matter as long as you put a good swing on the ball. 1-0 pitch to Stalley. That'll miss low, and the count's now 2-0.
Yeah, this would be a big spot here for Stalley to drive in these 2 runs, and like you said, potentially end the game early and pick up a big sweep, a potential sweep for the Eights here this afternoon and evening.
That 2-0 pitch is upstairs, and the count's now 3-0. J.J. Buckles, who stung one off the wall earlier in this inning, he is on deck, and he would be a guy that, if he could get another good swing on the ball, would potentially make it 10-0 with the bases potentially loaded. 3-0 pitch is upstairs, so a 4-pitch walk, and it is the bases loaded here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. And it brings up J.J. Buckles, who is looking for a base hit. And if he does do that, the Eights will have then just 3 outs remaining to try and win the ball game. It will be 6, 7, make that 5, 6, and 7 for Spearfish in the top of the 5th. First pitch will miss inside for ball 1.
Yeah, Meverden's just trying to spot that curveball across the inner half and must just be missing inside because he's tried it a couple times. As that fastball will catch the top of the zone on the inner half for strike 1. So that curveball either got to look to go a little bit more outside with it or start it a little bit more inside, as that's strike 2 now to Buckles with the bases loaded here in 2 outs.
He is 1 for 2, struck out swinging in the second. The RBI single here in this 4th inning. He is the 12th man to come to the plate. That one will miss for ball 2. Make that the 13th man to come to the plate here in this inning. Count is 2-2 here to Buckles with the bases loaded. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th and an 8-0 lead for Pierre. The 2-2. That'll bounce in and blocked up by the catcher Burner. The count's now full at 3-2. And for sure now, with everybody getting a head start, any base hit that gets through the infield will score those 2 runs. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Buckles will launch this foul, and we'll do it again at 3-2. It almost bounced off of something that almost hopped back into the field of play.
Yeah, maybe one of the railings out there or one of the light posts on the walkway back there, but you're right, it bounced up pretty high.
3-2 pitch is missing high for ball 4, and it's a 9-0 lead now for Post 8. Second RBI of the inning for J.J. Buckles, this time with a walk. And it's Carter Shufflebine a chance now to make it a 10-0 lead for the Eights. He is 1 for 2. He did have an RBI single in this inning. That was a part of 3 straight singles with runs driven in, as the first pitch will miss low for ball 1 to Shufflebine. Walker, a base hit, makes this a 10-run lead, and the Eights then they got to get the 3 outs in the 5th inning with that 10-run lead intact. Here's a ground ball that's going to get through the hole for a base hit. It's a 10-0 lead. Simpson will try and score. Simpson does score, as well as also coming in is Stalley. Nobody covering the bag at third. Then Scheffelbein will take second with the chase to third base. And it's a 11-0 advantage for the Eights. 2 RBI single for Scheffelbein, and the Eights have an insurance run for the 5th inning.
Yeah, that's just good base running all the way around. Aggressive by Simpson to take home. Throw gets to home. And then the third baseman was looking to cut off the throw to the plate. Throw ends up not being there. Pitcher's backing up home. Nobody's covering the third base. And so Buckles realizes that beats everybody to third. Scheffelbein takes second. And now you've got runners on second and third with 2 outs. And Babcock stepping up to the plate. If he puts one in the outfield grass, it's potentially 13-0 here.
This will be floating towards the left field side, but it will slice foul, and the count's now 0-2. And give credit to J.J. Buckles, not just for what he did in that, in that play specifically, but the way the game is right now, that he still makes that play. Because while Post State is taking the extra base up 11-0, you can say whatever you might want to say, but the Eights need something like that. They need to continue to be something to do that, and to be able to be aware and take the extra base can pay dividends down the stretch of the season. Not just if you don't do it when you're up 11-0, which would be understandable up 11-0, but you create the habit of potentially doing that when the game's in the line down the stretch of the season.
Yeah, that's something that's built in games like this. Is when you can do it. When you can take extra bases in a game like this and you can continue to stay locked in as Babcock swings through strike 3 for the third out of the inning, that's something that will translate to a game later on down the line that will, potentially mean a little bit more come the end of the season.
A 10-run inning for Post State as they get to 6 hits. There's an error and 2 men left on base. So the Eights lead at 11-0 going to the top of the 5th, trying to close out this ball game in the doubleheader. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds & Associates. At your service, at your side. With offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
Verting Electric has a long history of doing electrical work the right way. Economical service, professional work, and customer satisfaction is why they can say that. Verting Electric can do residential, farm, and commercial projects. Doesn't matter if they are charged with new construction or a remodel project, they get it conducted. Contact the staff at Verting Electric at 224-8684. They can light a spark into your next project. Verting Electric, 224-8684.
Top of the 5th, it is a 11-0 advantage here for Post State to the American Family Insurance. Brittany Scheffelbein scoreboard at 5, 6, and 7. Halen Heiding, Brock Lewis, and Tucker Olson. Spearfish needs 2 runs in this inning to extend this to the bottom of the 5th, and Cooper Twilger will try and finish out a 5-inning complete game as the Eights got a 11-1 win in game number 1. Now they lead 11-0 in game number 2. Took them 6 innings to get that 11-1 win, and now trying to get to 5 innings for 11-0 or 11-1 win. Here's the first pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. And the Eights, after today, will be off until next Tuesday. They'll get the weekend break. And back to playing Tuesday. They'll have everybody available from last night and tonight will all be available to throw next Tuesday against Sioux Falls East. They can line up however they want, basically like you're playing 2 games and by yourself in the middle of an island somewhere, because by the time you play again, everybody will be available the next time when you take on Box Elder, as it counts 1 and 2 now here to Halen Heiding. So it's Post State will hopefully draw from these 2 games and take on a really good Sioux Falls Post 15 East team next Tuesday, as it counts 2 and 2.
Yeah,
I was going to say, obviously, you got to still finish this off first before you get to that point.
You're right, and obviously, like you said, an opportunity for the Eights to throw, probably Doyle and Terwilliger at Post 15 East next Tuesday as well. That would be, something you could probably safely assume at this point as Heiting lines that pitch from Terwilliger into right field, ending the streak of consecutive batters sat down by Terwilliger. But that's something that you can look at as a positive for the Eights is, they're coming into that game against East with everybody available to them. East probably won't be on the flip side, and so, advantage Eights on that one.
The end of the streak of 11 straight retired from Terwilliger. But here's a ground ball that can get it right back to it. Guess will step in the bag for one. The throw to first is going to be a 6-3 double play. And there's 2 down, and the Eights are now away from a doubleheader sweep of Spearfish. So as quickly as that base runner got on, he is retired. That's the second double play of the ball game for Post State. The Spearfish has had 3 guys reach base. And of those 3 guys, 2 of them have been retired on a double play so far in 5 innings. And it's now Tucker Olson, the last chance here for Spearfish in the top of the 5th inning. And 1 out away here for the Eights. As long as Spearfish does not score twice in this inning, they will win the ball game by the 10-run rule. First pitch misses for ball 1. Olson flew out to Sunshine to end the top of the 2nd. He is 0 for 1. That one will miss low. The count's now 2-0. And if Olson and Scharf do not get on base, both don't get on base, they won't even get 2 times through the order. And again, it's not so much about what Spearfish is doing in these 2 games or who Spearfish is. This is good for Post State baseball to get these 2 wins. Here's a ground ball to Scheffelbein. It's so to first, roll Eights, a 11-0 win in 5 innings for the Eights as they take it a doubleheader sweep over Spearfish. As the Eights win game 2, 11-0. We'll step aside for 2 minutes, come back and wrap up the doubleheader sweep for Post State. Back in 2 minutes on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hey, yo, Speedo's Lawn Care.
Hello. Say, my yard's in rough shape. It's got weeds, brown spots, and crabgrass.
Yeah, no problemo. What shade of green you need? We got 31 shades of green over here. Even the latest shade of septic tank grass green. That one just naturally gives off a glow.
Call the professionals at True Green. They know how to get your lawn healthy and keep it healthy. They guarantee it. All technicians are trained and certified.
Call True Green, 224-1916.
Looking for a change, a career, not just a job? Beck Motor Company of Pierre is looking for a team-oriented individual to join their parts department. We offer 401k, free individual health insurance, paid leave, a company cabin in the Black Hills, on-site gym, and more. Experience is a plus, but we'll train the right individual. If you have the ability to use a computer, provide great customer service, and willing to learn and adapt in a very busy environment, we want to visit with you. Call Steve Meyer at 605-224-5912 or stop by Beck Motors for more information.
Are you or a family member receiving Medicare calls asking if you've received your new Medicare card? This should be a red flag, as Medicare is not sending out new cards, and Medicare will not contact you to ask you about your card. If you have, or someone you know has received this type of call and they gave out their Medicare number, please contact the South Dakota Attorney General's Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Back here.
AGE Corporation's Contractors and Crane Service is a proud supporter of
Back here as we will wrap up the end of our ball game as Post State takes it over Spearfish in the doubleheader sweep in a 11-0 win in game number 2. John McClure alongside Blake Dean as we wrap up here. It was 1 run in the first, a throwing error from the pitcher and Tucker Olson that gave Post State a 1-0 lead. That was the score through 3 innings. After it was a walk to Charlie Simpson, the A's didn't get another base runner until Simpson walked again in the 4th. After the hit by pitch of Aiden Meverden, they didn't get another base hit or another base runner until Halen Heiding had a base hit to open up the 5th inning. But it was 1-0 through 3. Going to the bottom of the 4th, Post State scored 10 runs on 6 hits and an error, and they left 2 men on base, but they end up with 11-0 win. So no runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, 1 man left on base for Spearfish. They grounded into 2 double plays. Pierre had 11 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and 3 men left on base. Cooper Twilliger went those 5 innings, gave up the 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Tucker Olson will pick up the loss as he was the guy that won. When Pierre led 1-0, but gave up those runs along with the pitcher in Meverton that finished out with the 8s getting those 11 runs. Time of the ball game was a brisk hour and 12 minutes to pick up the second game victory for the 8s. And Blake, this is what the doctor ordered. And I mentioned too, it was not so much what Spearfish does, what team they are, doesn't their record, what they've done in any game, what they were doing in this game. Doesn't matter. Post State worried about themselves. They need to worry about themselves, get these 2 wins, and move forward after this, because this was 2 dominating wins that Post State really needed to have going into the month of July.
Yeah, absolutely. And, big momentum boost for the 8s as the calendar flips from June to July. And like you said, regardless of who the team is that you can pick up 2 South Dakota wins against, doesn't matter. They're 2 wins in the win column regardless, and like you said, a good way to end this month of June for the 8s and to build some positive momentum going into July. And the road doesn't get easier by any stretch of the imagination, as they will take on a Sioux Falls East team come Tuesday, who is a top 4 team in the state standings wise going into that game. But they will have an opportunity to, and Box Elder as well, who, a lot of those kids are the kids that played on the Rapid City Stevens squad earlier this year, who was a state title participant. And, for the majority of the season, in the spring season, a team that you looked at and you said, this team can potentially make a little bit of a run to possibly a state championship, and nobody would be super shocked. So, the road doesn't get any easier for the 8s, but 2 huge wins, to your point, against a post-164 squad that coming into this ball game today, or these 2 ball games today, record-wise overall, not just in South Dakota games, but overall, a 16-20 record. So a team that was sitting, pretty close to 500, and this post-8 team comes away with 2 big and very convincing wins over a Spearfish team that, like we talked about, even if they had 10 guys, didn't matter, because, those are 2 wins that go down in the left side of the column for the 8s, and those are 2 big tallies on that left side of the column.
At 22 runs in total on 24 hits in the 2 games for Post State, and really big day for the 8s as they got for Dawson Getz, who finished with 4 for 4 in Game 1. Carter Schuffelbein finished with 4 RBIs in total he finished with 3 in Game 1 and 3 in Game 2, so 6 RBIs in total of those 2 games. It was RBIs for Nolan Peterson, 3 runs driven in for him, as he had 5 hits in total of the 2 games. Grayson Hunsley had 3 hits and drove in 2 runs. Charlie Simpson with an RBI double as well. George Stalley had an RBI single. Everybody that came to the plate today all had a base hit. J.J. Buckles, who didn't hit in Game 1, had 1 for 2 with an RBI, had 2 RBIs. Bridger Babcock had an RBI hit as well in the 4th inning. He didn't hit in Game number 1. Everybody that came to the plate at least one time in this doubleheader all got base hits. And, again, this is Post State needed these 2 wins. You can't diminish the 2 wins that they have here today, because this could be a defining moment for their season to move forward and try and play really well against some good competition, but overall favorable competition down the stretch of the season. Harrisburg Maroon, a team that's not at the top of the standings, not one of those top 6 teams. Also get Renner Sultans that will be towards the end of the season. Box Elder in there as well. There is just overall down the stretch of the season, it is favorable games. If Post State plays like this, there's going to be a lot of wins for them down the stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. And they showed today that they showed what happens when they put together a complete baseball game, because when you look at both games collectively, they didn't even play a full baseball game in either game because both games ended early because of the run rule. So when a complete effort is put forward by this group, they can be as good as anybody in the state, and you saw that in both of these games against Post 164.
So now they will take on Sioux Falls East on Tuesday. We'll have coverage at 2:45 again, just like we did today with the first pitch at 3 o'clock, and maybe we'll see the same results. Going to be a little bit harder to get 11-1 and 11-0 wins against Sioux Falls East, but it would be great to see the same results like we saw today in the doubleheader sweep of Pierre over Spearfish. But that'll wrap things up for us here from Hyatt Stadium. We'll get you out to the NBA draft coverage coming up after the close here. I want to say thanks to Jackson Youngworth back at the station. Blake Dean, John Wickler here signing off. 11-1 win in 6 innings in Game 1 for Post 8. They finish off 11-0 win in Game 2 in just 5 innings. A doubleheader sweep for the 8s over Spearfish as we say so long from Hyatt Stadium.
You've been listening to Post 8 Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Post 8 Baseball is brought to you by Comtech, Bank West, Nystrom Electric, Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, Lamb Motors, Todd's Electric, Edward Jones Financial, CHS River Plains, Wagner Auto, Jaeger, Faith Lutheran Church, Leimbach Construction, First Dakota National Bank, Avera, Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Shane's Pharmacy, Gales Gas, Oahe Federal Credit Union, May Adam, Fisher Rounds, Ferding Electric, True Green Chemlon, Beck Motors, the South Dakota Office of the Attorney General, Division of Consumer Protection, Kruger Contracting, Egtegra, AGE Corporation Ready Mix, Stulkin Peterson LLP. Join us all season for Post 8 Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. This has been a special presentation